Some watches just feel expensive. The weight, the brushing, the dial, everything just screams high end until you check the price tag, that is. And for that reason, these 15 picks all bring that luxury vibe and feel without the luxury markup. But I won't waste your time, let's move right into one of the best. And that is the Zelos Helmsman SS. This is from a Singaporean microbrand which has just super tight brushing, gleaming chamfers, and a wrist presence that rivals big Swiss divers twice the price. The build quality and angular shape scream high end, and the overall package from the free 3-slot watch box, insane finishing, comfortable bracelet and high specs absolutely look stupidly expensive for a stupidly inexpensive price, that being $529. Coming in next, we have the Heron Mirabelle GMT. This is a Canadian microbrand that focuses on classy enamel dials. This watch has heat blued hands, a D-lugs high-end leather strap, and a real GMT complication, all sitting in a slim 37mm case. It carries style and functionality like a Swiss flagship, along with a gorgeous watch box to display or travel with, for only $690, probably about half of what you were expecting from that description. Next up is the Christopher Ward Bell Canto. Now this is designed in the UK but made in Switzerland, and it is a chiming watch with an exposed mechanism and fine finishing that could easily cost maybe 5 figures or even more. It genuinely looks like haute horology, and though it is not by any means a cheap piece, being by far the most expensive on this list at about £4,000, it's just insane what you're getting for that price. In-house haute horology, a femto laser etched dial, like just incredible what they're doing here. Next up is the Mine Manhattan 37 Ultra Thin, which is from a Swedish brand. This has a slim ETA manual winding movement or thicker automatic depending on your preferences, coming in two sizes of 39 and 37, decorated with Geneva stripes and blued screws, all wrapped in a beautifully finished case and integrated bracelet design. It feels streamlined, luxurious, like a vintage icon reinvented, but for a mere $930 to $1,400, depending on if you want the bottom grade or top grade movement, I would recommend the bottom grade as the value there is through the roof. Next up is the only Chinese watch on this list, and that is the San Martin SNO 144GX. Now this has insane case finishing, densely applied lume and sharp dial text, which all combine to just objectively eclipse basically any sub £1,000 Swiss model in terms of just pure quality. At $317 or less, depending on the very often sales they have, this piece is a huge pickup for the price. Now I know, Chinese watch, many people don't like that, but I've picked this as not only is it their best quality, but it is one of their only watches that is an actual original design, not just an homage or a copy. Next we have the Casio Edifice Sapphire, from obviously a Japanese brand. Now this has a sapphire crystal, a decent case with good machining, and a weight on the wrist that challenges many budget automatics. It does wear heavier and it does feel sharper than most quartz watches at twice the cost, coming in at only $130, although I must be honest, it's not the greatest quality, but again, $130, there's not really much else from a big brand that you could get at this level of quality. Next up is the Bewcroft Element, a UK based brand that focuses on minimalism but still meeting tight case tolerances and fine brushing. The dial, the finish, the bracelet, and most importantly, the standout colours of the dials here all add to an elevated small brand execution, all for the price of only $675. Next up is the Seiko Presage, specifically the Cocktail Time. Again, another Japanese brand, we all know that. And I mean, this watch, the sunburst on the dial, it plays with every angle of the light. The finishing is clean. I wouldn't say that it's top end, but it's definitely industry standard at least. And the proportioning lets it wear beautifully. It's a dress watch with flair that visually punches like a 4-digit piece, coming in at only just under 600. Next is the Brumetric Automatic. This is an American style brand focusing on coffee machines of all things, and this particular piece has sharp retro styling, clean indices and solid build quality that all lead to it feeling polished and nice on the wrist. It gives strong vintage Cartier or Mido vibes at a fraction of their prices, coming in at $525. I'd say that this is one of the most funky, cool and different original watches out there. It is actually not fully original, it does take a lot of inspiration from a vintage Omega. I can't remember the reference, but I'll show it on screen. But it does its own twist and it does it very well. Next up is the Eco Nutra Riviera, which is Italian designed but made in Switzerland. It features a Swiss automatic movement paired with minimalist Italian curvature and a sort of field style aesthetic, also mixed with a dressy design language. It looks refined and durable without announcing itself, and I think it's the most unique, most different and most well done Cartier tank style watch with that rectangular case that isn't just a Cartier tank. And it all comes for just under $1,500. Next up is the Baltic Hermetic Tora. Now this is a French made watch with a glossy dial, gilt accents and vintage inspired proportions that delivers high end feel and class. It wears like a collector's piece and it has incredible specs but costs less than $435. Next is Denison Watch Co. ALD, which is another UK based brand. Now, this is a watch built by a British heritage case maker. In fact, my vintage 1928 Omega cushion case, solid 9 karat gold, has a Denison case, all written on the back, which I think is pretty cool. And this case maker turned into a micro brand relatively recently. This design in particular bridges that sort of vintage military look, but also with a classy dress piece, and of course modern accuracy. The design puts it in a rarefied territory for its price point of just only $690. There's not much you can find like this, especially not with the fact they use a lot of stone dials. Next is the Orient Komatsu 2, another Japanese brand, and this watch has a sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, and bold dial depth, which feel pretty much impossible at this price from a big brand. It feels the quality of a Seiko diver, although I actually prefer the design, but it costs a fraction of the price at about $200. Next is the Furlan Mari Neuro Sabia chronograph, which is, again, Italian design but Swiss made. It has a slim sporty case, a vintage chronograph layout, fine detailing on the hands and indices, and it looks like a classic Patek racing chrono. It's just an elegant throwback and a gorgeous piece that costs only $555 from one of my favourite micro brands just generally out there. Next up is the Citizen Zenshin, which is again another Japanese brand. This watch in particular has an understated dial texture, laser clean brushing and clean branding that all make it feel polished and coherent in execution. It feels and looks like a luxury Japanese dress piece like maybe a Grand Seiko, yet retails for only $400 to $500 depending on if you want to get the solar powered quartz or of course an automatic. And last but not least is the Zezumi Tonnery Monochrome, which is a German made brand. Now this has a minimalist Bauhaus dial, crisp applied markers and minimalist finishing, which all punch above the entry tier and just give some incredible execution. It's one of those pieces that defies perception given the sub $400 price, but it looks $1 million. I mean, the quality is like industry standard, it's not anything outlandishly amazing or anything, but the design for that price, gorgeous. All in all, these watches offer some insane level value for really low prices, whether that's from specs, design, good pricing or general quality. I will also say none of this is sponsored, and I've been hands-on with every single watch here other than the Zezumi and the Riviera, both of which I have very reliable sources and friends who have been hands-on, including a watchmaker. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, drop a like and a subscription. It takes you like 2 seconds, it costs you nothing, and it helps me do this full time because, man, these videos take a lot of time. And with that, never forget, time keeps ticking, so use the time you have wisely.